Ryan Cole had never considered himself paranoid. In fact, after years working in cybersecurity, he prided himself on being logical, grounded, and skeptical. So when he bought the old fixer-upper on the edge of a small town in Oregon, he wasn't worried about its creaky floors or outdated security system. If anything, the analog cameras installed by the previous owner amused him, for grainy feeds connected to a dusty DVR tucked in the basement. He hooked it up to his laptop out of habit, just to have eyes on the front door, the staircase, and the living room. No alarms, no apps, just old-school surveillance. He expected peace and quiet. And for the first few weeks, that's exactly what he got. The house was isolated, surrounded by tall pines and dense fog most mornings. He worked from home, spent his evenings reading or walking the nearby trails, and enjoyed the silence. After a painful divorce and burnout from high-stress jobs, this retreat felt like the reset he needed. The cameras were just a leftover relic, one he barely checked after the first few days. Until one night, just before midnight, he minimized a movie on his laptop and noticed something strange on the camera feed. On the staircase cam, there was a figure. It wasn't moving, just standing midway up the stairs, facing downward, too grainy to see a face, but definitely human-sized. Ryan froze. The house was silent. He turned around slowly and looked toward the real staircase behind him. Nothing was there. When he turned back to the laptop, the figure on the screen was gone. He checked the recording, rewound the footage. At 11:58 p.m., the staircase had been empty. By 11:59, the figure appeared, motionless. At exactly midnight, it vanished. Not walked away, not faded, just gone. He told himself it was a glitch, a reflection, maybe a compression artifact. The system was old, after all. Still, he found himself checking the feeds more often after that. 3 nights later, he got a motion alert on his phone, something the updated software allowed him to set up. It was 3:14 a.m. The living room camera had detected movement. He opened the app, and again there was the figure. This time, it stood behind the old armchair by the fireplace. Again unmoving, again faceless. He rushed downstairs, heart pounding, but the room was empty. When he checked the footage again, the figure disappeared between 2 frames. The incidents began to stack up. He noticed items slightly move in the house. A mug he hadn't used placed beside the couch. A kitchen drawer left cracked open, even though he remembered closing it. The cameras never showed anyone actually moving them. They simply appeared that way in the next frame, as if the change had occurred between blinks. Then came the front door footage. At 3:17 a.m., the camera showed the door opening, but not from the outside, from inside the house. The door unlocked itself, swung open slowly, stayed open for 20 seconds, then closed and relocked. There was no one visible in the footage. Ryan sat frozen in front of the screen, every nerve on fire. He installed additional cameras, upgraded the DVR, added cloud storage, night vision, motion tracking. Now he could see every room, every hallway, every corner of the house in real time. If something was happening, he would catch it, but that only made it worse. One night, his phone buzzed with motion alerts from 6 cameras, each one reporting activity at the exact same time. He opened the app. There, on every feed, was the figure. In the kitchen, the hallway, the upstairs guest room, his office, the living room, the basement stairs. It was identical in every view. Same height, same posture, always standing still, always watching. He rushed room to room, but no one was there, just a faint smell of dust and something older, something metallic. When he returned the footage, the figures were gone. He sent a few clips to a former colleague, Natalie, who specialized in forensic video analysis. She reviewed the files and called him that night. "I don't know what this is," she told him, "but it doesn't behave like a person. There's no light reflection, no depth. It's like the system is seeing something it shouldn't be able to." Desperate for answers, Ryan did a deeper search into the house's history. It had changed owners frequently. Most had stayed only a year or 2. One, a woman named Lorraine, had filed a complaint years ago claiming she felt watched, and that the cameras had shown her things that weren't visible to the naked eye. No one had taken her seriously. That's when Ryan remembered something. The original setup had one more camera, a hidden one, built into the wall paneling near the attic entrance. It had never shown up on the DVR feed, but the wiring was still intact. He reconnected it to the new system. That night, it recorded something different. At 2:42 a.m., the attic door opened. There were no stairs to pull down, no movement below. It simply creaked open on its own, and from the darkness inside, a shape began to crawl into view. Not walk, crawl, slowly, deliberately. But when Ryan ran upstairs, there was nothing, just the attic hatch, slightly ajar. By now, sleep was nearly impossible. He tried sleeping in his car, at his friend's place, even in a motel 2 towns away. But the notifications followed him. Motion alerts, blurry snapshots, glitchy thumbnails that hinted at the same shape waiting. He disconnected the system completely, threw the cameras away, deleted the cloud accounts, smashed the DVR. But even without them, he sometimes saw a movement out of the corner of his eye at night. He'd wake up with the sense that someone had just been standing over him. Eventually, he moved out. But weeks later, while staying at his sister's house in Arizona, his new phone buzzed. Motion detected. Living room. He hadn't installed any cameras there. And yet, the notification contained an image. A familiar room. A familiar shape. The same faceless figure, standing just outside the frame. He thought he was alone. But the cameras had always known otherwise.